Hi guys, and welcome back to another webinar by the team here at Instant Impact. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Sarah, and I'm here today with a bit of a different style webinar for you. So far in our kind of series, we've used these sessions to talk to you a lot about CV advice, interviews, general careers advice, and obviously, you know, as a graduate recruitment agency, I think we're very well versed in those topics, and we've been able to provide you with some really expert advice. But today I'm talking to you about our second favourite topic, which is London. Now, obviously, we ourselves are a London-based company, and lots of the SMEs and startups that we work with are all based in London too. So I'm kind of here today to chat to you a little bit about this city, and more specifically about making the move down here. So, you know, things such as how to find a job, how to flat hunt, and just generally kind of things you'll encounter on your journey to becoming a Londoner, I guess. So a little bit about me first might be helpful. As I said, my name's Sarah, and I did this exact thing, which is moving to London from up north, in case you can't tell from my accent, only 3 months ago. So it was a real kind of challenging time, but it was very exciting. I've now been here 3 months, so I'm going to kind of use the knowledge, things that I learned over that time, to kind of give you guys a little bit of advice. Now, if you're anything like I was last year, you are probably sat in the library or in an exam or something and kind of just dreaming about moving to London, having that amazing graduate job, and you know, going to drinks after work and really kind of living the life in the capital. And having been here, you know, I can safely say that it is a great place to live, and it is a great place to come as a graduate, as a young person, and really kind of start your career with a bang. So first things first is how to actually find a job in London. I think unless you're incredibly brave, you're unlikely to want to move here before you've actually secured a job. So obviously, my first piece of advice on this front would be to join the Instant Impact Network. You know, we have, as I mentioned, literally hundreds of jobs at amazing startups and SMEs in the capital. So really kind of poised to help you start that first step of your career in this city. You know, I think as well with Instant Impact, the kind of sign-up process is very, very simple. You just have to answer a couple of questions, upload your CV, let us know that you are looking to work in London, and, you know, go from there. You can browse our vacancies straight away, you can get applying, and also, you know, our recruitment consultants will be in touch if the perfect role for you comes up as well. So it really is the number one step to take if you want to come down to London after graduation. So I think, you know, it's obvious that there are quite a lot of jobs available in London. And I think maybe some people therefore think that it will be easier to get a job than perhaps they actually find out it is. You have to remember that the competition here is incredibly fierce as well. You're not the only one, sadly, who wants to move down to London as soon as you leave university. So alongside, you know, kind of signing up to Instant Impact and other recruitment agencies and things, whoever you feel can help you make that first step on your career is fantastic. You need to kind of really remember that the job hunt in London is going to take a lot of hard work. So basically what I would say there is apply for as many jobs as you can with a really knockout CV and application, whether that's an application form or a cover letter. You have to really put absolutely everything into it if you want to succeed, really. So obviously there's tons of advice out there. You can go back and watch our previous webinars on CVs and cover letters and things, all of which you can find on our YouTube channel. So I think, you know, you need to just kind of decide exactly what it is that you want to do, and then go out there and prove that you have the skills to do it. So if you're kind of lacking in the work experience front, one option you might take, and one which is really popular in London, is doing an internship. I think these look fantastic on your CV. They allow you to really kind of dip your toe into the working world. It's a great way to see if you actually enjoy doing what it is you think you want to do without kind of making that full commitment to a permanent role. And again, here at Instant Impact, we've got a ton of different internships. I myself took an internship when I first moved to London, which then became a permanent position. And that's a theme which you'll find across lots of internships. You know, they maybe last for 3 months, but there's definitely the potential there to turn permanent if you want to after a successful internship. So it really is a great step to take. Don't think that internships are only for, you know, during summer of university and things like that, because they're very, you know, it's very, very different in reality, and they can be a great way into your career. I think another thing you need to remember if you're coming down to London is, you know, if you want to move to London rather, is that if you're applying for jobs, they're likely going to want to interview you. So you have to be really flexible. You have to, you know, adapt. If you get an interview in 3 days and it's down in London, you've just got to do it. And it feels like a big expense of the time and a big kind of use of your time, I guess. But just remember that when you do secure that job, it will all be worth it. So just really go for it. You know, put everything into your job hunt and you will get the results back out. Okay, so let's now kind of imagine you've landed your dream job in London. The next huge step is flat hunting. And I'm not going to lie to you, flat hunting in London is tough. It is exhausting and annoying and, yeah, very, very difficult. But again, with a bit of perseverance, you will definitely get there. For me, you know, having kind of been through this myself very recently, my number one sort of tip would be, you know, just relax. Kind of don't worry about it too much. Just go with the flow. I came down to London and I then sofa surfed, as they say, for 2 months before I found my own place. Yeah, 2 whole months. And it wasn't the easiest thing ever, but I think it was actually really good. It allowed me to live in a few different places in London before kind of settling down myself. So I kind of got a feel for a few different areas. And it also just, yeah, really helped me to kind of let go of control and just go with it. Just enjoy being here. Take time over the flat hunting process. So if you have the luxury of being able to do that, I would definitely say do it. You know, don't take the first thing that comes up. If you have a friend who will have you stay on his sofa for 2 weeks, take the offer. Honestly, it will pay off. And then in more practical kind of sense, if you're looking for a room in, you know, in an existing house with other people that you've never met, the best platform by far out there is Spare Room. I'm sure you've probably already heard of it if you're kind of thinking about making this move to London very soon. It's by far the most popular platform. There are literally thousands, I wouldn't even like to guess how many properties on there at any one time, with, you know, rooms of all different budgets. So that's definitely a great one. And I think when you first start looking, be prepared for a few days of being completely shell-shocked by the price of properties, by the rental prices. You know, this especially if you're kind of coming from maybe up north or somewhere like I was. It is pretty flabbergasting, but you just get used to it and you have to accept it. If you're thinking you'd like to actually live with friends, you have a group of friends who are all coming to London at the same time or something, fantastic. The option for you guys then is to find a whole property via an estate agent. This is a really great way because obviously you know who you're going to be living with. You kind of immediately got that friendship group there, and it does make the moving in process a little bit easier. But it has to be bear in mind that there are some additional fees to kind of this process, agency fees, inventory fees, alongside the ridiculous rental prices, the agencies do seem to find any way possible to add on a few extra pounds. So that's going to be tough. But if that is what you want to do, if you want to live with friends, again, it will be worth it. And I think, you know, on the whole, the kind of move to London is just about going with your gut. It's such a huge thing to do, especially at a young age. But it will pay off, and it will be fantastic. So try not to stress out too much, as scary as the whole process is, and just really, really, really enjoy it, basically. So I think kind of my main point would be that making the big move to the capital is definitely hard work. It's hard work finding a job. It's hard work finding a flat, but it will pay off, you know. And I think if you're kind of finally a student now and you're set to graduate, and that thought of going back to your parents' home and being stuck there forever is really scaring you, you know, don't worry. It will all work out, and you'll definitely be able to come down to London if that is what you want to do. Having been here now for 3 months, I can safely say that living in London is an incredible thing to do. Especially again, as a young person, I think you're really at a great kind of age to take advantage of all the things that London has to offer. And it is fantastic. It is tiring at times, and yeah, it can be pretty exhausting, and you can wish you weren't surrounded by tourists 85% of the time. But it's amazing. It's great to be able, I don't know, to pop to Oxford Street or walk past Westminster on your way to work, which is what I do every morning. And there's nothing else like it. So if you are thinking that London is the place for you, don't be put off by the prices. Don't be put off by the competitiveness or about just making that move away from home, because it will pay off and you will have a fantastic time. Even if you're coming here and you don't know anybody else, there are so many places to meet people in London, you know, and people of your own age. So it really is an amazing opportunity to leave university and carve out a fantastic kind of path for yourself. Now, obviously, I've kind of already touched on the fact that there is a ton of amazing things to do in London. And I was going to kind of talk to you through some of the highlights, I guess, but I think most of you already know, you know, that Buckingham Palace is pretty cool, and that going to the Tower of London is a great day. And hey, if you want to do a bit of shopping, why not head to Harrods, right? So I think what I find the most exciting about London and the coolest thing is that stuff changes all the time. There are pop-up cafes and restaurants. There are plays that are on for like 2 nights and then they go. There's so much great stuff going on, and the city is constantly changing. So what we like to do here at Instant Impact is create a blog post for you guys at the beginning of every single month. And that kind of details all of the top things to see, to do, to eat throughout that forthcoming month. So, you know, if you are kind of teetering on the edge of whether you want to come to London, I would recommend going on and having a look at some of our London blog posts. And I guarantee you they will definitely sway you in the right direction. You know, for example, last month we spoke about a pop-up cafe which served breakfast in bed. You know, where else could you hire a bed and get breakfast? Huh? So yeah, London is an amazing place to be. Our next blog post in that London Living series will be going up very soon. So stay tuned for that. If you're heading to London during June and you want some cool things to do, you'll certainly find them there. So we're kind of going to wrap things up for today, I think. You know, I've spoken through sort of lots of the different aspects of moving to London. But as always, if this webinar has left you with any questions, or you know, you're thinking of moving to London and you want a little bit more advice, please do get in touch with me. You can send me an email at webinars@instant-impact.com, and I will get back to you, you know, as soon as I can with as much information as I can possibly manage. You know, I'm no Londoner, so I don't have kind of expert knowledge of the areas, but I do understand exactly what it feels like to move here from quite far away, having just graduated from university. So I can definitely help you on that front. And you can also check out my blog series again on the blog at instant-impact.com. And that's kind of my Moving to London series, and I've spoken a bit more in depth about the kind of emotional side of moving and of leaving your parents and things like that. So that might be a nice one to check out as well. So as ever, thank you so much for tuning in today. It's been really great to talk to you about London. It has become one of my big passions in life, so I'm always happy to talk about London. As you know, we do have loads more webinars coming up, so make sure you tune in again on Tuesday to find out some more. And if you've missed any of the series, you can log on to our YouTube channel, which is Instant Impact, and kind of rewatch all of our webinars that we've done to date. One last thing to mention is if you happen to be in London at the moment, or you're going to be in London throughout this month, we do have an events week coming up right here at our offices. So we're running some sector-specific events, and we're going to do some open mornings and drop-in sessions. There's so much going on. That's running on the week commencing the 22nd of June. So if you want to find some more information on that, again, head to our website or Facebook page where you can see the full event details, and get in touch if you'd like to join us. I think that's everything. So I'll leave you guys there. Thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.